Hi. We're here.
Oh, hey.
We're here. It's me, Karen / Kraken.
And me, Danielle. They let us do this again.
I know. What? What are they
That was a
thinking?
mistake.
I don't know. I don't know. But the end of last episode was pretty epic and pretty funny. So I'll take it. Anyways, guess what?
Anyway.
Week 8 happened. And we're going to talk about week 8 in NWSL. There were 4 games that happened on Saturday. So we're going to talk about sorry, Elton. We're going to talk about those. And let's just go right into it so that I stop being incredibly embarrassing. The first game we're going to talk about is Utah versus Houston. It was the game of the week on Lifetime, sandwiched between 2 strange as hell freaking movies.
I love Lifetime movies.
Aren't they great?
One time in high school, one of my friends banned me from watching them because I would get so worked up in them. And one time she called me about something and she's like, "Are you watching a Lifetime movie right now?" It's like, maybe. So a fun Danielle fact for you. That was about 72 years ago, but it's fun.
Yeah. Run, Brittany, run. That's what I do. It's always the climax at the end of the movie. And then Lifetime starts the actual soccer, and you're like, that was a good transition. So anyways, the game. So Utah won 1-0 off of a Timrak goal, which was exciting for Timrak and her fans, including this one.
I was very excited. Timmy is a player that I just love her as a person. And I guess to get right into it, to me, Timmy comes off as a very emotional player. And so having her struggle these past few years has been rough. And then, just knowing she has so much potential, it's driving you crazy. Not like you're upset with her, but you're like, come on, you can do it. So I'm not saying one goal is going to totally we get Timmy, who was called into the national team, back, but we could get Timmy, who got called into the national team, that level back. So who knows? But, it's great to see her get a goal. Utah's starting to kind of get their groove a little bit. Laura Harvey is really getting into it. Seems to be gelling, so nice. And fun fact, this was the first Utah game I've actually allowed myself to watch. I'm not going to say what 10 people are like, are you going to say that this episode? I'm not going to say anything about my old team. But I watched it. And, something nice is I enjoyed watching Utah play. I didn't have that emotional connection I thought I was worried I was going to have. It was just being able to watch a soccer team, which was nice. So
yeah, awesome. Yeah,
and my team died, so that's why I didn't watch it.
There it is. Bum, bum. So yeah. Also, I think Utah has been kind of I would say they would say that they've been in a little bit of a tie rut. They've been tie. So to get 3 points now is pretty awesome for them, I think, and that's going to be a really good confidence builder, I think, for them. So that was nice to see. I think Laura Harvey has been a little bit who? So good job with that, Utah Royals. And also, hold on. I was looking at the chat because I can't multitask. Now I have to pull up
2 windows.
Also, just small note, A-Rod is the queen of first touches, man. When she went, it was the PK that was called against Amber Brooks. That ball from Gory that was just she literally just like absorbed the ball with her body and then like pushed it perfectly in the direction that she was going to be running in. And she just like broke away from like 3 defenders with like one deft body touch. And it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And then she was off to the races and she won a PK. They did not score on that PK, Diana Matheson. But
sorry, my start was so loud I heard feedback.
That was awesome. But yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to make a note that A-Rod's first touches, I think everybody should be watching her because she's the queen, man. Like, whew, that was nice.
She either has
PK, but
whatever. She either has the best first touches or she just holds on and has too many touches. You know, that's A-Rod, and it's my favorite thing. I love her so much.
They're like, please, why do you still have the ball?
Shoot it! Just shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot the ball! Shoot it!
Eventually, like her first goal this season, she actually does shoot it, and she's a genius. But yeah, I agree. It's really funny. As far as Houston, though, I think I will say this, because we have said a lot of negative things, not just about like what the organization is doing, but like about what's going on the field and like not connecting and stuff. But I do think that they did have some really good spurts. But the thing that's really bothering me, that's been bothering me since especially the beginning of this season, is that there's no like brain cohesion between Daly and like literally the rest of her team. Because every single time she was pressing against the defense, she was pushing them, she was going for like every single ball, she was going after the keeper when the keeper was hanging onto the ball too long. She was just going, and the rest of the team wasn't following. So it was like totally ineffectual because it was just her. And when you're the only person that's pressing, it doesn't go anywhere. So I think Ali Wagner was talking about it during the broadcast, but she was like, either everybody goes with Rachel Daly or Rachel Daly kind of dials it back and she, you know, like hangs back with the rest of the team, and they all have to do it. Otherwise it's not going to work. And that happened the whole game. And the whole game she was getting more and more frustrated because that's kind of the type of player that I think Rachel Daly is. She's that type of player that gets really angry and frustrated and she just like stops and starts like walking. And you're like, Rachel, keep going, dear. So yeah, well, I guess one thing I noticed.
So not to go back to Utah, but Star Killer asked in the chat for Utah, so when KO's healthy, should Harvey move her back to defense and keep Timmy up top? I answered in the chat, but I was going to make you answer.
Yeah, maybe. Because KO kind of like is that type of defensive player that can still get up. I loved seeing her in that forward position. I think that she's a super good playmaker and she can score a lot of goals. But I think if she is in the back, she can still put balls into the box. She can still run up the flanks. And she can still be super lethal as far as creating chances. So I think I would agree with you that Timrak, if she is scoring goals and she is playing with confidence, having her up top and keeping KO in the back would probably be good. Good question. It's a good question.
Sorry, you're in charge, and I just went in.
That's a good point. I know. I just like took the reins, and then I was like, "Here we go." Yeah. Do you have anything to say about Houston? What you saw in the time that you were watching the game?
So much potential, and I just wish they would get there. I just wish. So. which wasn't, I didn't say anything there. I just made a lot of sounds, but I hope that I was able to portray my feelings about them with a lot of
a lot of, yeah. And also, I did make a note. Campbell looks like she is having a lot of confidence issues, which is not good. Not that she's not making some really important good stops. I mean, she made that PK stop, which was good. As weak as the PK ended up being, the fact that she stopped it was good. But even after that, you could just tell that she was kind of, I don't know, like antsy back there. And I think she's taking a lot of hits to her confidence. I don't know if it's something going on during training, if it's a toxic atmosphere during training, perhaps. I don't know. But her confidence out there has looked very shaky, even though she's had some really brilliant moments. So that's upsetting to me, because I think that she can be an amazing goalkeeper. So she has what it takes. But yeah, I think that her confidence has been really shaky. So that's not good to see either. But do you have anything else to say about that game? Or
no, I'm good. Just with the Campbell thing, confidence is always frustrating because she's our number 3 technically for US, and so you don't want, considering all the great keepers in this league, you want the number 3 to, be strong.
Yeah.
Or you want one of those other keepers to maybe leapfrog.
Yep. I agree with that. Okay, let's go on to Washington Spirit versus the Portland Thorns. I don't know what. The Thorns. They won 1-0. Goal was Hamilton.
Carpenter.
It was.
It's fine.
You know what? I'm just going to throw my notes in the garbage can, and we're going to go with what you said. Yeah, Carpenter. I don't know why I said Hamilton. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. But
born
yeah.
April 28th, 2000, if you want to feel old.
Oh, Jesus. Come on.
I looked it up because I saw all of the social media talk about how she now is the youngest player to score in this league. I believe I'm not lying. Yep, right there. Have the article in my Google results. She is the youngest goal scorer in NWSL history.
What? She was born in 2000.
She's younger than my baby brother, and my baby brother is way younger than me.
She's quite possibly like younger than one of my dogs. So that's exciting. So just put that out there. God damn. Well, on that note, she scored a goal, and she was the youngest in NWSL history. So, there you go. We're good. I will say that in this game, again, Portland had a lot of trouble scoring goals, which has been their problem big time. They created a lot of chances and did not really challenge Bledsoe, except for obviously the goal. But they did not really challenge her. They either kicked it right to her or super off target or like a Carly Lloyd style field goal status shot. So yeah, they are definitely having trouble putting the ball in the net. So that's not good for them, but it's also good that they're creating so many chances. But then on the other side, I think the Spirit were creating a lot more chances than maybe people thought they would create. A lot of Malpew basically smoking 3 defenders and then just continuing to run towards the goal and not taking a shot. So Bledsoe would get the goal or get the ball. So it's just Bledsoe Eckerstrom. I'm having struggles today. It's fine. I'm gonna let you continue talking since I'm talking out my ass at this point.
No, you were saying that, Washington actually had some good chances. I think that they have so much potential. They're still sitting on just one win for the season, but and I guess we'll talk about this in a little bit, but hopefully some of those issues are going to start being resolved as their injury list is slowly clearing out. There's a lot of people on it. So would like to see them, start capitalizing on those goals. One win is Portland, on the other hand, they confuse me so much because they're the defending champs. And I don't want to sound negative because they won the game. So, off of a good goal, but they should be right with North Carolina.
Yeah.
If you look at paper, defending champs, world-class talent, great young players. How they're not just dominating every week is it's confusing. Decent season, 3-3-3, but I think I think that it should be a better record. So they're just so confusing to me. With that said, it's good to get that road win. Hopefully for them, that translates into some more confidence and getting those issues resolved, finishing some more goals. Because with those names, Portland shouldn't have 3 losses. So yeah, that's really. Sorry, I was catching up on the chat because I switched the window.
It's hard. It's hard to multitask.
It is. Especially, I work all day, come home, do this for you.
You're doing it for you.
Yeah. I think Alyssa just made a good point. Not having Mingus has really hurt them. I mean, she is just how she's not a bigger name. Like she's just been a rock for them for so long. And then with branch out. So there's issues, but I still think they could just get there. So
especially now that Heath is back.
Tobin's back.
I feel like everybody has put all of this pressure on her, she's back, and it's just not translating. She made that one goal.
It's please don't put all that pressure on her. She's very fragile.
Yes. Can we not break the Tobin, please? Thank you. Jeez.
Let's just chill out. She's very fragile, and we'd like her not to break again. So please.
Yeah, let's keep that one healthy. As far as, let's see. Well, Rose Lavelle is coming back next game for Washington Spirit. So hopefully that adds to their ability to finish and create chances. I think Ortega plus Pugh plus Hatch plus Lavelle has the potential to be ruthless as far as not just creating chances, but finishing them. Those are really, really good players. So hopefully that starts translating into 3 points for that team, because they're more than capable of it, especially when Portland is a team like Portland is really dropping the ball, as it were, so to speak. So I don't know. So I think that Portland is underperforming. I think the Spirit is doing really well. They're just not getting results. So once they start fixing that, they're going to start rising through the ranks, I think. Anything else you want to say on that game?
No, just, good stuff hopefully coming down the Spirit's pipeline. That was a weird sentence. Let's go on.
It's okay. We're both on the same page here.
I think we're both trying not to be.
We're overcompensating.
A little bit.
We're both trying to chill out a little bit and be less like we were last time. And I think my tongue isn't working. So
we're like, let's talk seriously, like adults.
What's an adult? I don't know. Okay, let's go to the next one. I don't know why I bounced.
That was a really good transition.
Thanks. Okay. So let's do the Sky Blue FC and North Carolina Courage, which was a game that happened for both teams. And let's just put it on the table here. That first half, did Sky Blue touch the ball? I'm not certain that they even really touched the ball.
And maybe when it was going by?
Like a stroke to the foot with the ball, maybe.
Or taking it out of the goal after those goals were scored?
Perhaps that's what happened. But it was not, it was, I don't even know really what to say, because that team is struggling real hard. And when you pit that team against North Carolina Courage, which, do they know even what the word struggle is at this point? I don't think so, because they are insane this season especially. So they have like 9 points more than Seattle, which is in second place right now. So that's insane. You're insane, you freaking team.
Kind of reminds me of Seattle from a couple of years ago, like that run where it's like second place.
Yeah, because we were scoring like I had anything to do with it.
Well, as you know, I scored 12 goals that season.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Kim Little and Jess Fishlock and all those people were just scoring off everything. Yeah. But yeah, the Courage is insane. And Sky Blue FC, they have 1 point with 6 games. And I'm sorry, but that's just, it's not okay at all in any way, shape, or form.
Ooh, but sorry, I noticed something while looking at the standings. The unbalance of the schedule. They have played 4 fewer games than Chicago.
Yeah. Which, how does that even happen?
How is Chicago not leading with all those games? Anyway.
Really good question. I'm not to toot my team's horn, but second place with like 7 games now?
Yeah, so 2 in hand.
So I'm just saying. But yeah, what did you think about that game?
I brought up the point that a lot of people have been saying is, Sky Blue has only played 6 games, so they've had less games to get their chemistry, but obviously it's not happening yet. I think at this point we can't necessarily blame chemistry. Kind of going to just repeat myself from last thing. So much potential on that team. You have Carly Lloyd, so you have somebody who can score. Say what you want about Carly. Does she keep the ball too much and shoot too much? Yes, but she can score. Carly Lloyd is known as Carly Lloyd for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's in the 4th minute of stoppage time, so it doesn't matter, but she can score goals. So you have that, you have Rocky, you have, obviously I'm biased. You have a Shea Room, you have, oh my gosh, I am so blanking and this is bad. And McCaskill.
Yeah.
Who, last week I said, build the team around her. You have such good players. And it's so frustrating because I think that, last year was really frustrating to watch Sky Blue because watching them kind of blow up for reasons that weren't necessarily, maybe it wasn't necessarily because of stuff on the field. Maybe it was off the field drama.
Yeah.
And so, after all that, you got a new coach, you got fix it. We fixed it during the offseason. It's going to be great to watch them struggle this much. It's like, how? Yes, you played 4 less games than, Chicago, but still 1 point is not great, Bob. Not great, Bob.
Sorry, Bob.
So I don't know. It's just, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Sky Blue. They've always been kind of up there as my number 2-ish because I lived out there. So it makes me real sad to see them struggle.
Yeah.
Also, off topic, how have they had some of the worst weather luck
oh my
I've
God.
ever seen?
That's literally in my notes.
Okay.
Like how
it's just,
every single home game has ended with like a hurricane.
It's like this dark cloud over the whole, the on the field performance, the scheduling, the actual weather. I don't understand why it's happening.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I've seen somebody talk about how they kind of like picked this like lull of like being scheduled at the beginning of the season. Like they picked that spot to be in themselves, but like I don't know how accurate that is. Maybe one of our viewers knows, but still, like to only have 6 games under your belt and other teams have like what, like 10, 11 or something like that. And to have this bad weather. It's not like, oh, it's drizzling like it was at the Seattle game. Like it literally looks like a god is like pouring water onto just the pitch, like whoosh.
And don't make me make New Jersey jokes. I lived there for 3 years. I love Jersey. So I don't want to do that God hates New Jersey crap because it's actually really beautiful. Maybe the Rutgers area isn't as much, or maybe that was just my commute when I went to games. But it's like, well, maybe people have a point when they say that. Like, I don't get it. So yeah, that was a tangent. So Sky Blue, come on, you can do it. North Carolina, though, man, they're good.
Yep.
Are they unstoppable? Maybe not unstoppable, but they seem like it. It seems like everything's going right. I think they made some really great. Oh my gosh, there's so much conversation I missed. There's so good potential, good future. They made great decisions. Roland is a great keeper and made that save of the week, I believe you said.
Yep.
So they're just so good. With that said, and this is not bashing North Carolina, we do have to keep in mind when we see how far ahead of Seattle they are, that, with the 2 games in hand, if Seattle, I'm not saying they would necessarily win those 2 games, but if they do, they're right there with it. They're only 3 behind at that point. So, right now they're running away with it, but I think that you need to keep on it if they really want to stay going for the shield because, numbers are kind of lying to us right now. So 5 different directions. Your turn.
And I think that they still need to work on actually scoring the goals, which I say this, I feel like I've been saying this about like all of these teams, like, well, they have to finish, but it's especially bad for this team because I swear to God, they must have had like 30,000 chances and they only scored 2 goals off of Dunn and then that like Mischieva in front of the goal and then Mewis, I used that word, and then Mewis just like pew, and like bumps it into the goal off of like just a Mischieva. So yeah, I think
I love it. No, I'm laughing. I love it.
it's a good laughter of love. But yeah, I really think that North Carolina needs to work on their finishing, and it's gotten to the point where like I'm rooting against them just because they have so many points, not in like a personal way or because I don't like the team, but I'm just like, y'all are too much now. So like, even then, like watching them missing these opportunities, I'm just like, and there's another one, and there's another one, and there's another one. So, I mean, if they actually start finishing, it's going to be a runaway season. They're going to get the Shield, and it's going to be insane. But so far, they've had trouble putting the ball into the back of the net. And maybe that's the only thing that's keeping them as close to everybody else, which isn't even that close. So, and I also agree with you about McCaskill. I think that they should build Sky Blue around her. She's kind of a little bit like a Sam Kerr type of player, where she will go directly at a defender and she will take them on. And I think she's one of the only people on the team that looks like she's super comfortable doing that. Shea Groom a little bit as well, and maybe a little bit Keijo, but I think those two, like McCaskill, she ran directly at the defense, and she's a bulldozer, and she can do Sam Kerr type things plus the bulldozing. So I think that if they work on that with her, if they give her a chance, if they start giving her more of the ball, drawing players away from her, stuff like that, they can actually start scoring some goals off of her, because she's a workhorse. So they need to do that. And they might actually start getting some success. Maybe not against a team like North Carolina Courage, because they're sitting on a team that's like McDonald, Dunn, Williams, Dabinia, Zerboni, O'Sullivan, Mewis. I could go on about like pretty much the entire team, including like the flank defenders, one of them whose name I refuse to say, and the balls that they put into the box for their forwards. And every level is just like firing on all cylinders. So they scare me. That's all I have to say about that team. Do you have anything else you want to say about that game?
No. Just how Carly Lloyd is it to score in that late? And it was such a, goal of the week, so late, so good of a goal, and it doesn't matter. The goal didn't matter, but it was so Carly. Oh, God bless her. Really.
That is my favorite quote of the entire day. It didn't matter. And it's true, that is a very Carly thing. Yeah.
God, I love her.
I know. You know what? But like, here's the thing about Carly is that like, yeah, I make jokes about her field goals and stuff, and like, let's be real, like Haran does the same thing. There's a bunch of players that do the same thing. Fishluck does it sometimes, but man, like she's like really, like in a funny way, really good for women's soccer, because she is super polarizing. And I love those polarizing players, because you have people that are just like, and then you have like the crazy like fangirls, and that always creates something. So I mean, props, Carly, girl.
And she misses so many because she takes chances when she shouldn't. But then it's such a pretty goal, and then that's what gets these like, non-NWSL fans like, oh my gosh, look at that goal, and you're like, yeah, but it was in the 94th minute, so who cares? So, please don't block me, Carly. We're moving on.
Next game. We're doing the next game. So the next game and the last game of the weekend was in Seattle. It was Seattle versus Chicago. Say it like that. Chicago. I'm so sorry, Chicago people.
I know, off topic, but you came for the goofiness, so people watching. If you are in Chicago Midway Airport, they actually listen to the announcements, and it's like, welcome to Chicago. Or, man, that was more Minnesota, but it was like that, Chicago. Like, straight on the stereotypes. I had to fly Midway a lot because it used to be a Southwest hub for Des Moines. There's a game that happened. Let's move on.
Yeah, well, let's do that. let's talk about the game instead of airports, I guess. So Chicago and Seattle. That was more Minnesota, wasn't it? Anyways.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a fine line. It's completely different, but it's hard.
Because it's like you wanna go like Bobby's mom from Bobby's World, but you can't.
You know, I got Minnesota to my north. I got Illinois, so I get it. Trust me, I do.
Get you. I mean, I've watched Fargo.
You're like, I've watched movies. I know you live there, but I've watched movies.
I've watched Drop Dead Gorgeous. Okay, I know what's up.
So soccer.
Right. Seattle and Chicago happened. It was a 0-0 draw. It was actually a very exciting 0-0 draw, which doesn't always happen. But when you have a game that's like very defense heavy, it does get like very exciting. I mean, it was kind of like a game of the defenses. I think Seattle got a lot of chances on goal. Nair put up some wicked saves, especially there was one against Megan Rapinoe, which teams need to, I mean, they don't because I'm a fan of this team, but they need to start watching Megan Rapinoe when she's outside of the box because they give her all of this room and then she's just like, oh, okay. And she just like, boom. And every single time, well, okay, not every single time, but 75% of the time, that shit's right on goal, like perfectly placed right in the top corners. And against a lesser goalkeeper than Nair, that would have been a goal. But Nair is like on fire right now. So she made that 6th stop on Megan's shot. But I mean, there were moments where the goalkeepers came up big. Lydia Williams, y'all. She made some really good stops, some really important stops that kept the game at 0-0. And I think Seattle has, I say that every week, but their defense is the best that I've ever seen it in all 6 seasons. Easy. McNabb and Lou Barnes in the middle because Oyster's out with her injury. For not starting for like the last 4 games or whatever, Lou came in there and she put on an amazing performance. She was reading the game well. She was reading all of the balls really well. She did a really good job with McNabb. And then Latko put in Alyssa Kleiner, which was kind of threw everybody for a loop because I don't even think she was in the 18 last week. So the fact that she goes from not even really being on like the 18-person squad that travels to going like and starting a game at right back, I believe she did, is crazy, Vlatko, but it worked. She was really stalwart. She was really good at challenging, and she's super fast. I was surprised by how fast she is. Like her long legs just sounded like a squirrel or something. So yeah, it was really exciting to see that defense at work, going against freaking Sam Kerr and being able to stop Sam Kerr from scoring a goal. And that's what Sam Kerr does. She scores on Seattle Reign. That's her job. That's what she gets paid for. And they were able to stymie that, which is impressive. And on the other side of things, the fact that Sam Kerr getting stymied means that the entire attack for Chicago kind of fell flat. I think Huerta had a bad game. Probably they should be looking in other directions than just Sam Kerr. And I'm going to sound really biased right now again, but I'm literally wearing the jersey, so whatever. The fact that Seattle Reign created all of these chances, and they were very like diverse, varied chances. There were a lot of through balls. There was some through balls. Jesus Christ. It's a day for accents, I guess. I didn't even try that time. There were a lot of through balls. There were a lot of flank play, kicking the ball into the box, a lot of crosses. Really, really pretty crap between like Fishlock and Pino and Taylor and oh God, it was so pretty. And I love watching the team when they're like that, but they didn't score goals. And I have to just say this, and then I'll let you actually talk about this game. Jodie Taylor really, like, I really need her to finish when she gets opportunities like the ones that she got. There was the Megan Rapinoe, I guess it was probably kind of like a shot, or maybe it was a cross, but Nair like kind of dove. She got her paw on it, and then it bounced off, and it was literally like open goal in front of Jodie Taylor. And all she had to do was just like throw her body forward in some way, shape, or form, and the ball would have gone in. And instead it just goes whoop. And I like screamed bloody murder. I was just like, yeah. And like my head spun like The Exorcist.
Pea soup. It just was a mess.
Yeah, exactly. I like went like this and like went up the stairs and everything. It was terrible. There was another, she got like a breakaway or something like that. And there was almost nobody between her and Alyssa Nair. And she kicked it directly to Alyssa Nair. And I was just like, Jodie, oh, Jodie. So she needs to work on that. And I mean, granted, she wasn't the only one that missed chances. Like Utsugi missed one, Megan Rapinoe missed one. But man, Jodie, come on. Anyways, you go now.
No, you're talking about your team. I think we all just expect you to talk a while about Seattle, and we're all like, no, I think you talked about it. Yeah, it was 0-0, but I have to. Maybe it's just because I'm a fan of defenders, but some of my favorite games are 0-0 games. So this, they can be exciting. They're frustrating. Just score a goal. But, I thought it was a good game. What I really like to see, and I'm kind of going on a question, something Starkiller said earlier, is Nair. Seeing her make these saves, and it really feels like, her confidence is coming back. And I hope it stays back. Obviously, and it's something we've touched upon, whether it was, here or, the chat, which all of you can follow along if you want. Talking about, it's different goalkeeper systems between US and Chicago. So, it's hard to translate there, but I'm hoping it does, just because it is kind of a different style they expect from her from the national team. I'm hoping this confidence will go there because, we got World Cup qualifying here soon. So, we want a number one that's strong, and, seeing her strong in her club is good. Plus Chicago, I think that unless you hate Chicago, which there are people who do, I think we all are just like desperate for them. Like, come on. It's been since, forever that it's just like they've always been so close. Like, please, Rory, make it, just get all the way. Just get there. So having Nair get her confidence back, obviously will help with that. Not too much more to say. I kind of touched upon it earlier. Seattle's in second place, and the numbers make them seem, pretty far back. If they were to win the 2 games they have in hand, they're only three points back at that point. No, that's being presumptuous, saying, that they would win those. But I'm saying, this is a Seattle team that I think, and maybe this is controversial, sorry, maybe it's a good thing that, Laura Harvey left. I think they needed something different.
Yep.
And I think Vlatko needed something different, pains me to say. And I think Vlatko has brought something to that team And, I think that they could make a good run at this. Now, I'm no fan of Seattle, so I don't necessarily want that. I consider them our rivals, but it's good for two teams who were, back to back in the finals to, well, I'm going to say that it's combining because, my team's dead, but having Vladko and then having Seattle, they were two teams that 2 years in a row, they were the top and then they just kind of stopped. To have Seattle get back, it's exciting. So,
yeah.
And yay for Vladko, I guess. Our Macedonian dreamboat, Vladko.
Vlatko Andonovski, MD.
Dream.
Stands for Macedonian Dreamboat, not doctor.
But he could be a doctor if he wanted to.
Vlatko could do anything he wanted to if he wanted to. Anyways.
We've talked a lot.
Yes. So let's go into we'll do our predictions, I will say, for this upcoming week's games. Week 9 is insane, though, because there are, I go back to my list, there are 3 games on Wednesday, and there's 1 game on Friday, and then 2 games on Saturday, and a game on Sunday. So I don't know if Thursday shat in NWSL's Cheerios or something, but they don't get a game. So suck it.
Thank God for that. Thursday night games are dumb. Says the person who's going to go to a Thursday night PDL game. So
yeah, but it's fine.
It's PDL. They're not even pro, so it's fine.
Oh, damn.
They're not. I'm not lying.
Okay, so let's see. For Wednesday's first game, I was about to be like the game of the week, but it's not because it's Wednesday. No. And Lifetime has way more important things to do on Wednesday than show NWSL.
We got original programming.
Brittany has to almost get murdered by her husband who had an affair with her secretary. So, okay.
Jesus.
That's Orlando versus North Carolina. What are you thinking?
North Carolina. They're too strong.
Yep.
Strong sweep.
Yep. I'm right there with you. Probably only by like, maybe only by 1 point, but yeah, I'm right there with you. It's going to be North Carolina. The next game is Washington Spirit versus Sky Blue FC. What do you think?
Well, Rose is back, so that's exciting. So, I desperately want Sky Blue to get a win, but I think the Spirit's going to do it at home.
Yeah, I agree. Spirit's going to do it. And then the last game on Wednesday is Houston. It's going to be at Houston, and it's Houston versus Seattle. Awkward.
I think it's going to be Houston because they only win games they're not supposed to.
That was such a good answer. I'm going to say Seattle. Seattle has a pretty good record in Houston against Houston. However, I will say that the weather is supposed to be like 95 degrees or something. So first of all, everybody needs to drink their damn water. Rachel Daly, I'm looking at you because you need to drink your water. And secondly, it's going to be crazy hot. So hopefully both of the teams are prepared for that. And I'm scared because I don't really know if I want to watch that game. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game because of the heat and the humidity, but I think probably Seattle.
It's going to be at 8 o'clock at night, so it will hopefully have come down a little bit by that time.
That's a good point. And here's hoping that is what happens because that's a good point. Yeah, because last time it was like in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So, and then Friday games, Portland versus Utah is the first one. What do you think?
I got a draw.
Me too.
I think they'll tie. Oh my God, we're so okay. We didn't agree on the last one, but we've been twinsies for most of these.
Look at us go! Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, tie. Next one, which is on Saturday, is Chicago versus Orlando. Ooh.
Game of the week.
Hey, there it is.
I can't. You know, and I feel bad because I predicted Orlando wasn't going to win the first game, and I think Orlando's getting their stuff together. I think they're a strong team, but just being at home, good time slot, Chicago by a goal maybe.
Same. I agree. Probably just by a goal because it's a home game for them. And Sam Kerr. I think that's all I have to say. Sam Kerr. Then we go into New Jersey, Sky Blue versus Seattle. Seattle's second game in however many friggin' days. What do you think?
Seattle, but come on, I just want Sky Blue to win.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sky Blue has such a really bad cluster of teams coming up. Like y'all don't even North Carolina, and then the Spirit, and then Seattle. I'm like, oh, babies.
Spirit's at least closer, but yeah. You know what? All I want is for nice weather.
Yeah, that was nice. Okay.
That's for you, Cloud9. You deserve it.
Y'all need to be able to watch a game without having to bring 30 layers that you can wear in the rain. So we're gonna hope for a non-hurricane in that game. That'd be great. But yeah, I agree. Seattle's gonna go with come away with it in the night. Sunday's game is Houston versus Washington. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a draw. A draw?
It's going to be a draw.
It's going to be a draw.
It's going to be a draw.
I could do it with the Jersey accent, which is droll, because they had weird L's at the end of words. I'm an expert. I lived there. It's going to be a draw.
It's going to be a draw, and we're going to have coffee. Yes, I gave it to Washington, but you probably might be right now that I heard you say that it's going to be a draw.
Everyone just wants to agree with me, and I get it. It's, I'm a trendsetter now.
I was going to say, maybe it's the blue hair.
Teal, it's teal.
Maybe, we're going to back it up. Maybe it's the teal hair.
I'm a little crazy now.
Youth. I don't even know.
Not according to my knees. Go on.
Not according to freaking the player that I almost called
Carpenter.
And thank you.
Here for you.
So sorry. I'm so sorry, Carpenter. Freaking 2000. Okay. So yeah, that's the last game of week 9. It looks like.
We have missed so many questions, but we answered some.
What's going on, guys?
Well, we had breaking news during it. Lisa Cole has joined the Spirit coaching staff, which is interesting.
Wow.
Willetta tweeted it during the show.
Wow, that's interesting.
Sullivan's challenge on first penalty or no penalty?
Yeah, that was a penalty.
That was totally
that was a very clear, not even going for the ball penalty. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah. No. Did we cover all of the stuff?
Yeah, I think we answered it in it if we didn't answer it here.
Sorry. Cool. All right. Well then we were tame, considering.
We were good. You guys all overhyped it, I think.
Yeah.
You all overhyped it.
I don't even know why anybody's still watching this, frankly.
There are people watching, but next week our moms are back again.
Yeah.
At least one of them. I don't know. I don't know.
We still have at least one. I don't know if Jen is working or if she's living her life, but Courtney will definitely be back.
If she doesn't want to, we're gonna make her. So
yeah, we need her, because when I run the show, I don't know what's happening to my mouth. So that's what she said.
I was doing name of your sex tape, so it worked out.
Look at us go.
And that's why we can't do the show alone. Okay.
And we're done. Wow, look at us go. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us for like almost an hour. Sorry. But technically YouTube lets us do this for 8 hours. So y'all,
we got 7 hours to go. We got a book of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. And I have half a glass of water left. I'm good.
Do you have mint in your water? You're so Californian.
I'm a fancy bitch, okay? So we're gonna end on that.
Just take it off live. Let's get us off.
We just need to go.
Get us off live.
And we're gonna.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.